Welcome, Chris Edmonds Radio. We are back with little Dave, and it is Wednesday. And the reason I look exhausted is because I just got out of a massage. So got bags under my eyes. So we are good. Him and I are adequately warmed up. I think we talked for what, 40 minutes before this?
Yeah.
So what I thought I would kick this off with is coming out of that prep for me at the end of last year. Like, I'd gotten my caffeine to a point that it was mediocre, maybe high. I'll just tell you what it is. You and I already talked about it, but I'll share it with you here. So I'd have one scoop of NeuroStim when I woke up, which is 200 mgs of caffeine. I'd have 1 to 2 caps of ThermoBurn before my cardio, and then mid morning I'd do a 8-ounce cup of coffee. Pre-lift I'd do a half a scoop of GX pre-workout, and then in the afternoon I would do some sort of energy drink, whether it be a Celsius or a Ghost or something in that nature. And then I'd have probably 1 to 2 diet sodas throughout the course of the day. And that was a normal day. If I was really dragging or feeling exhausted or had to coach Daxton's baseball or football team, like I might hit a Americano on the way to football practice. But it gotten to a point where post show, I knew I wanted to pull back on that. So obviously the first thing we're going to pull out of there is going to be ThermoBurn, so I didn't need a fat burner anymore. And I will touch on that really quick. If you are taking a fat burner, specifically ThermoBurn, or anyone that has an appetite suppressant, if you're trying to drive your food north, like you have to cut it out. Like that is super low hanging fruit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because I've had some clients that don't have the appetite that you and I do, and they're like, Chris, I can't eat, and I'm like, you're still taking ThermoBurn, no shit.
Yeah. And if it's really, really bad, like caffeine needs to come down in total.
Correct. Yes.
Stims in general, because that's one of the first mechanisms of actions. What they're going to do is suppress the appetite.
Yes.
So you're shooting yourself in the foot if you're trying to down, 3 ghosts a day and eat a off-season diet, where you're in a surplus, because it's going to be hard to eat not because of the caffeine.
And to me, I've always thought about this, like if you think about a Ghost or a Rock Star or a Monster, like think about what's that, 18, 16 ounces? I can't remember.
16, yeah.
16.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of volume in your stomach. And especially with it being carbonated, like that's a technique we use when people are starving. Like, hey, go have a root beer, go have an energy drink to bloat your stomach out. Like if you're trying to force food down, not only the caffeine, but just the stomach space, which is why you and I also don't eat a lot of vegetables. Because like, hey, we need carbs, protein, and fat.
Yeah.
So yes, very valuable there. So if you're struggling to eat, caffeine consumption, we need to drive that down. And then just in general, what you'll find is like with anything we do in life, if your caffeine remains high, you don't begin to get an effect from it. The only way you can get an effect from it is 2 ways. Either take it north, which we don't want to do, or you come off of it and then reintroduce it later after your body's like not used to regularly drinking anymore. And that's honestly what I'm doing right now. So like everything in life, like I just do cold turkey shit. I said, get all the energy drinks out of our house. They're gone. And then I'll have a coffee mid-morning, so no NeuroStim, obviously no ThermoBurn, because I don't need that. And then I'll remove the GX, which I normally do 1 scoop of Vasoblast, half a scoop of GX. I just drop the GX and I do 2 scoops of Vasoblast pre-lift. And then right before we got on here, I had an 8-ounce coffee again. So 2 8-ounce coffee is only caffeine. I might have a diet soda with dinner, but it's probably a Sprite Zero, so 0. And then depending on how that feels, like my head was thumping on Monday. Like it felt terrible. Not even gonna sugarcoat it. Like I was like, fuck, like just take the headache away. And we all know, like if I would have fed caffeine to myself, that headache would have went away. But I knew if I could just endure a couple of days of that shit, like it's not a big deal. So it's back to what him and I always try to teach you guys: short-term discomfort, long-term success, right? Like, so today is Wednesday. I started that on Monday and I already feel fine. Like, not groggy, not tired, no headaches. And my thought process is like where I want to progress to is like I'll do a regular next week, most likely I'll do a regular coffee in the morning and then do a decaf coffee in the afternoon. And then the following week, probably go decaf AM, decaf PM, and then eventually drop the PM altogether. And because I like a coffee in the morning, like I'll just stick with decaf for a while. and I'll run that 2 to 3, 4 months, and then we'll start to add some caffeine back in. Guess where I'll start with it? Around my workout. So, next logical step to me would be reintroduce GX half a scoop pre-lift, and man, I'll be wired like a fucking animal ready to go train. So just wanted to touch on that topic really quickly. I'm sure you see a lot of that with your clients, right?
Exactly. Yeah, very true. And then other things to keep in mind too is, I know you train after meal too. So that's a very good time. That's a great time to have caffeine because that's going to put you 11 noon. Pretty much that's after 2 meals for most people. If you train after meal 4 or 5, don't do pre-workout caffeine.
Correct.
You're just going to dig yourself a hole. Have lunchtime caffeine and have that carry you into your workout if you need to. But taking, a scoop of especially high stimulant at 6 p.m., if you're going to go to bed before 11, you're shooting yourself in the foot. The cornerstone of recovery is sleep, food, and rest. Right? So if you can't sleep, your pyramid's on the ground. It's not a pyramid anymore.
I think so many people, that's what they don't understand about those high stim pre-workouts. Let's start here. Are you a fan of those at all?
No.
Neither. Like, I think I hit one time a buddy gave to me. I can't even remember what it was. It had like 250 megs of caffeine. And man, I was fucked up that whole workout. Like, head fell off. I couldn't focus on anything. Or shit, it might have been 300 milligrams. I can't remember. It was too much. Like, I like a little bit to just give me that little bit of focus. But what I'm going to rely on is my desire to be there. Where I think a lot of those people they cover up the passion for the sport with caffeine. Well, give me a fuckload of caffeine. I'll go start doing housework right now. If I'm just sitting around the house. Ask me if I'm passionate about housework. Absolutely fucking not.
Very true. That's very true.
And then, I think you and I have always relied on that. Like, I'm not going to need to sit down and watch a Ronnie Coleman video and smash 300 megs of caffeine to get hyped up to go train back. Like, all I need to do is look at a picture of my back double bicep, and I'm like, all right, good, got it.
There's a reason.
You want to get fired up? Go stare at your fucking worst body part in the mirror for 10 seconds, 30 seconds. Take a couple pictures and look at it before you walk in. Now, maybe the rest of you guys out there aren't psychopaths like you and I. But that's why we go in there. Or one of the reasons. So, any points you have to add about caffeine before we move on?
Well, I mean, like, if you're gonna cycle off too, there's a lot of ways to do that. Like, to utilize it really effectively. Like, one thing I like to do is once you get to a point where you're not using it every day, if you track on days where you want to use it, you want the performance effect, have at it. But if you make it a daily thing, it's no longer a performance enhancer.
Correct. Yes.
So like if once you come off, you can add it back in before your leg day or like a heavy back day, you're going to have a noticeable effect. And then the fun thing about that is if you add it on 2 days a week, you got 5 days a week you're not on it.
Correct.
So you have that ability to desensitize again.
Yes.
And if you use caffeine twice a week, you're not going to be dependent on it for one. And then when you do use it, it's going to work well.
Yes. Yep. And that's the very reason for me is like, one is like, I just wanted to come off of it. Because I don't know about you, but I hate things that are crutches in my life. Where I'm like, I need this. No, fuck you. My brain is stronger than that desire. Like, so part of it's a mental game for me. But the other part is like, I want to get to the point where I can feel it like really enter my system well again. Which is, to go on a side tangent, which is why we don't run drugs year round. One, for health, and two, so when we add them in, we fucking feel it and get a noticeable effect. Shocker, right?
Right.
I mean, to touch on, you shared that story of my response to your update, like still above 220, and that's without gear. Listen, I know people are going to think we're full of shit. Like they saw your photos, like, oh, of course, bro. Like, you and I know the truth.
Well, let's see what happens when we add them back in.
Correct. Yes. How is his skill weight going this way and his body fat's going this way? Weird. I have a couple ideas.
Right.
It's like, huh, we added some fun stuff back in, yeah. Like, shocker.
Yeah.
So again, to everyone out there, like with life, like we have to always find that balance. And if you find that like one thing's getting out of hand, like just pull it back. And yes,
Yep.
it might suck for a day or two, or I think to talk on a point, like I think one time you would came in and you're like, God, man, I gotta add some cardio back in my program. Like, when I pull that cardio out, like when you add it back in, you get an instant response. Which is cool, right? Which is why I always try to keep your cardio on the lower side before prep. Like
Yeah.
if you were doing 6 sessions a week at 40 minutes in the off season, like what are we going to do? 7 sessions in an hour to start week one? Like I think people do such a poor job of managing like the overall picture of things that they don't kind of see like, oh, well, maybe you just have his cheat meals too high or too many or too frequent, or maybe his carbs and fat are too high on a non-training day. Like we have to do something so that your cardio is never over, to me, 4 times a week at 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And you're cruising. That could be a dog walk. That could be a bike ride. Like could be a 3.03 incline on a treadmill. Like that's okay, because when prep starts and I take it to 4 times at 25 minutes and say, hey, like take that intensity up a bit, then we initially get fat loss out of the gate.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a game of playing cards you have.
Yep.
Because if you always have all your cards on the table, what are you going to do when you need to make a change?
Correct. Yep.
And that's why so many preps end poorly, because the first step people do, they're like, okay, cool, we're 18 weeks out. Let's start gear. Let's start trend. Let's start fucking cleanse Youre.
Yep.
And then they're like, they're 14 weeks in, things are stalling. They're like, okay, let's add T3. There's still 14 weeks till the contest.
Right.
And then, their max, there's also, before they started that contest, they're like, okay, we'll do an hour of cardio every day at 18 weeks out. And it's like, okay, cool. They get to the 12 to 10 week out mark and they're doing an hour cardio every day. Cleanse T3, train out the ass, and they're just like wondering why everything else is falling apart. It's like, cool, you're already blew past what you needed to do, but you didn't give yourself time to get the fat off.
Yep.
So good luck maintaining your training intensity when all your time is taken up with cardio. Yep. And your food's gone.
Yes. And I think you'll experience, or I'm sure you experience this too, like the urge to that when it's a double-edged sword, right? I get a guy or girl that's so excited to start and like they want rapid fat loss, and they're like, Chris, like it's over, all season's done. Give me all the drugs, give me all the cardio, make me suffer, make me hungry. And I'm like, let's just pull back a little bit. And they're like,
yeah,
hold on, we don't get to add all the supplements in yet. Why? We're 20 weeks out, bro. Let's chill for a bit. Like you're progressing on TRT, a little bit of GH. Why not ride this wave? Give your body a rest.
Yeah.
Don't we want to add cardio? Why? You're burning fat. Well, should we add a training day? Why? You're growing. Like it's always like, well, my food's too high. But you're dropping 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds a week. Why would you want to remove? Well, I'm at 600 grams of carbs. Good. Like
yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you're dropping and you're losing body fat while doing that, and you have enough time, like when you're 14 weeks out and you're doing that, and it's like, and you don't have to lose 40 pounds for a prep.
Right.
Why try to lose 40 pounds for a prep?
Correct. Yes. It's something I always, because you don't want to dim that light. Like you don't want to like unmotivate them, but at the same time, it's like you take a deep breath. Let me do my job. I promise you'll be in shape. And if it's the first time someone's ever worked with me, I get like there's like a little bit of a trust thing there. Like they don't know. Yeah. And they're like, oh, well, Chris, my other coach used to do this. And my other coach used to do that. Like one of the guys who, man, I'm getting incredible results with him. He's like, my old coach used to start me on 100 micrograms of T3 and Clen at 10 weeks out. How fat were you? About what I am now. Why?
Yeah. He's like, also, I don't understand why I never was able to carb up properly.
Yeah, right.
Every time I was on stage, I felt pretty stringy. I was like, fuck. I can't imagine why.
Yes. Yep. Or you get, oh my God, like, this is always funny to me, right? So there's a big time coach who will do this. And I'm not going to talk shit, throw shade or be an asshole, but Clen T3 high, and then to fill you out, he'll pump you full of Anadrol. Okay, real fast. 100 mgs of Anadrol kills your appetite within 2 days for most people.
Yeah.
What's it going to do to your stomach? It's going to make it bloated, filmy, and you're not going to want to eat food. Like you're just not. So if I say, hey, Dave, I need you to eat 225 grams of rice, 200 grams of apple, and let's say 100 grams of cream of rice, you'd be like, not a chance. You'd walk around with your stomach bloated and feeling like death. Okay, then can you train right? No. Are the carbs going to your muscle right? No, it's sitting like a rock in your stomach. That combo never works in my mind. So you're just saying, hey, we're going to abuse fat burners and then we're going to load you with another oral when your body's really sensitive. That right there, and you have so many clients or competitors are like, oh, bodybuilding ruined my look or my whatever. Like, as I've said on here, and you've said plenty of times, if you're at 2 weeks out and you look incredible, don't do anything drastic. If you've had a good all season and you're always in a good striking distance, why do we need that much T3 and Clen? You probably won't.
Yeah.
A lot of times we can pull that shit completely out if we manage it right. Like, we'll use it for a little bit just so your food can stay on the higher end, and then we pull that bitch out and we slowly start pulling back on cardio. But guess what? We always leave training hard and high. Why? That's to facilitate carbs into the muscle to burn extra fat and keep the muscle full. That's why you look dense and out.
And we said training, not cardio.
Correct. You know, I think everyone hears that statement by Dorian where he's like, man, the one area I fucked up on was I trained too hard until the show. Okay, but that's also a double-edged sword, because do you think that's the reason why he looks so damn dense on stage? I don't know the answer to that. Maybe if he would have trained lighter in the last 2 weeks, it wouldn't have made a fucking difference. Or that's the reason he looked like a fucking freak show.
Yeah.
So some
or even if he maybe pulled back on dieting a little bit and trained the same.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
That's like always this fun concept to people, because if they assume that if they add in, food, we're talking, let's say 2 cups of rice a day, right? That's 60, 70 grams of carbs, depending on how you want to measure that.
Right. Yeah.
Like your body isn't a machine. Like it can put on body fat, but it doesn't happen super fast. Like adding in that many, gram, let's say you add in 100 grams of carbs for 400 calories.
Right.
Right. And now you're at maintenance instead of a deficit. Right. Maintenance means you're staying the same. That means you're not adding fat, you're not adding muscle, you're staying the same, right? And then you keep training, but maybe your training improves and you put on muscle. That actually means you have a higher chance of fat loss.
Right. Yes.
Right. And that's where people get super confused. It's like that little, if you add in donuts every fucking day, you can add body fat. No shit. Right. Yeah. That's an easy thing. I could eat 4,000 calories in donuts in a sitting. Right. Like, that's not going to go, I'll be full as a fuck, but I'm also going to gain body fat from that.
Yes.
But adding a smidge of food isn't going to make you fat. No. And managing that and then your training improves.
Yes. Yep.
That's it.
I really, one of these podcasts, we're going to have to show your dieting spreadsheets to people just to thoroughly educate them, or show mine. I don't care, or we'll do both. What we're able to come out of a show and eat and still have incredible composition with.
Yeah.
Blow a lot of people's minds. Like, oh, this is right out of the gate. Yes. We're still training hard. We're still doing cardio. We still have supplements in. Nothing changes outside of we're just no longer in as extreme of deficit.
Yeah.
I would say you're off.
And we're not leaving the show binge eating for 5 days.
Yes. Right.
That's a hugely that doesn't happen. Like I'll have something good maybe the day after, the day after.
Yep.
But it's something, not all the things.
Correct. Yes. Yep.
Those decisions I make at those times are still going to affect me.
Yes.
Yep. Everybody should realize that. Like you're not just a sponge. You're going to soak in every nutrient you have ever.
Yep.
And none of it's going to get turned into body fat.
Right.
You know, so yeah, if you binge eat for the next 6 meals,
Yeah.
good luck. But let's say you don't do that. Like if you look at the calories spread out over time, there's a huge difference between adding, let's say, a cup of rice to every single meal
Right.
or having 4 fucking cheeseburgers.
Yes.
What do you
Yes.
think the calorie difference is? You know,
Yeah. Yeah. It,
it's
that
not that
is
complicated. It's just, it's just overlooked.
no, because what's funny is those same people will get freaked out like, "Oh, Chris, you have my carbs at 200." Well, you just ate a whole day worth of food where your carbs were over 1,000. You didn't bat a fucking eye.
Yeah.
Like, you had 500 carbs just in ice cream.
Yeah.
But suddenly I take your training day carbs to 200 and they're like, "Well, aren't I going to add fat doing this?" Oh, relax, bro. It's not the rice, it's the cookies.
Yeah. The density of your food.
Right. Right. I will go back to this. Like, no one gets fat on chicken, rice, and olive oil.
Yeah.
And if you do, you have a serious metabolic condition. Like, you need to go get checked. Your hormones, something is off. Like,
Yeah.
I would love to see that done. And I know what they're going to say. Oh, well, Chris, well, my food's not as high as yours. Okay, cool. Like, it took us years to get here.
Hmm.
If you did a training session with us, did regular cardio with us, had this amount of muscle, things are different.
Hmm.
Like, it's all a progression. So,
Yeah. Well, and it's exactly that. Like if you're bulking and you're getting too fat, you're eating too much food or you're not training hard enough.
yes.
And sometimes that too much food happens on the days where you're not giving a shit.
Yes.
More likely than not.
Hmm. Yep.
It's going to be really hard to eat. Like if your diet in your off season consists of giant ass bowls of cereal, just chocolate milk and brownies, yeah, it's going to be really fucking easy to go over on your calories. But there's a pretty big difference between 3 cups of rice and 8 ounces of chicken and a half a tablespoon of olive oil and 4 Wendy's cheeseburgers.
Yes. Yep. Yep. Agreed. I will go to my grave saying this. The best way to reinforce making yourself not binge eat is knowing the next day you have to wake up and start your meals over again. Like, and the bad thing is the people out there who are listening don't understand that, right? They're just like, "Oh, I want to enjoy this meal in this moment." Well, you and I
Yeah,
both know when you do that, that next day, if your digestion is fucked, is miserable. And you don't want to overeat your free meal so that the next day or 2 or 3 days are absolute hell.
yeah.
Because
I've
they're
always
already
put it
hard.
with this: when it comes to free meals, it should be enjoyable. It's not. This is the last meal I'm ever gonna have in my fucking life.
Right. Yes.
You don't need to force down food. Like have something good
Yes.
and end it there. It doesn't need to be, oh, I had this, so the diet's over. That's where you really fuck up. Like no one got fat from eating. Like if you ate off plan, you had a piece of chocolate. No, that's not going to change that much. If you eat the piece of chocolate, you're like, well, because I ate this, I'm going to go have Canes and I'm going to polish it off with a thing of Ben and Jerry's. What one do you think made a bigger difference?
Right.
You know, like if that's going to happen, like, cool, you had that little deviation, get back on the plan versus like, oh, cool, now I can justify having a fuck ton of shit. It's like just pivot right back onto where you should be versus, if you weren't, if you were driving your car down the freeway and you pop the tire's completely off, you're going to get out of the car and stab the other four, or are you going to change the tire? You know, like,
Yeah. Yeah. I think you and I will always say this too, is like at the end of a prep, we don't necessarily want a bunch of junk food. I just want more diet food.
mm,
I want more oats. I want more rice. I want more almond butter. I want to actually put a decent amount of oil on my rice. Like
yeah,
I want to have a giant ass Honey Crisp apple that looks like a fucking softball. Like that to me will always be equally enjoyable as
yeah,
eating Five Guys. Like, and I know that that may sound insane to say out loud to some, but when you're in a calorie deficit, I really think your body just craves more food, not
yeah,
necessarily the source it comes from. If we were starved in a submarine and all we had access to was saltine crackers and peanuts, listen, that would taste amazing.
yeah. 90% of the reason why someone would need a cheat meal is you got the glycogen of the cheat meal for a reason,
Right.
but you also have the dopamine aspect of the reason.
Yes.
Being around your friends
Yep.
and having fun
Yes.
affects your physique.
Yeah. Agreed.
And if you don't know how to do that without fucking eating cookies, like I can tell you this much: if you learn how to have fun and stay on bodybuilding things, you can still affect your dopamine in a positive, so that your body count, your goals are in the same area as your lifestyle.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That's not like a hard concept. Like, you can still affect your dopamine by just having loved ones near you.
Yes. Yep.
It doesn't like yes, food can be helpful there. I'm not saying that's never a case, right? But that's a fun subject because you can change dopamine with people.
Yes. Yep. I've always wanted this too. Like the amount of times I went out with Angela and had a date night, and I literally got a steak, a plain baked potato, and a salad, and then her and I may have split a dessert. That may as well have been, outside of the dessert, just me having a diet meal. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm still getting to go out with her. I'm not measuring my food. It's a nice night. She gets whatever she wants, and we move on. And guess what? The next day I wake up and my stomach's not wrecked, and I can eat all my food. And if I have to, if let's say we do that at 5 or 6 o'clock, I can still easily eat my last meal of the day and not think twice about it.
Yeah.
Where let's say we went and had like 2 appetizers and I ate an entree plus some of hers, and then we ordered 3 desserts and I ate most of them. Like, and then, oh, by the way, I polished 3 loaves of bread while we were waiting on our food. Or if you're at a Mexican restaurant, you eat like 3 baskets of nachos. Guess what? I'm going to be fucked.
Yeah. Good luck fucking your wife later, but
don't touch me. Don't even look at me. Yeah. Right. Like, you go to pull your shirt off and you look like you're fucking 8 months pregnant. Like,
yeah.
awesome. I'm sure she loves that. And then, oh, by the way, you're heavy breathing, you're sweating like a fat pig, and you're out of breath.
You're probably going to be gassy.
Yeah, oh God. Can you hold on? I need to go take a monster shit. I'll be right back. Awesome.
Yeah.
That really helped.
That's going to go down really well.
Yeah. Right. And listen, I think we've all been there. Like, we know that's like
yeah.
And we can only say that out of experience. So that's why I think you and I are laughing about it. Is I think sometimes there's almost no forethought, right? It's like, it's almost electric chair eating. It's like,
yeah,
I was like, I have to wait 41 more meals before this happens. I have to eat all of it. I'm like, it's a week.
Yeah.
Not that big.
Goes by fast enough.
Right. I mean, the amount of times you've reported to me, I didn't have a free meal this week. Yeah. You can have one, you cannot have one. It's not live or die. And when we're done with this bodybuilding game, like, if we want to eat that every day of the week, we could. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's a really interesting topic, because I feel like so many people are so emotionally tied to food.
Yeah.
That I feel like when I entered this sport, like, you had to leave that behind. Like,
yeah,
that can no longer be how you live or operate or think, because food is either meant to add pounds of muscle or keep pounds of muscle.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as
yeah.
that. The way I've always looked at it. I think Milos made me feel that way. Or, he always said, Chris, and he can say this to me. He said it like, if you go into a gym, you're there to do one thing, and that's build muscle. At the very end, the goal is to maintain muscle. Okay, awesome. And I go to the gym, I'm going to train. I don't go there to fucking dick off. And same thing with food. Like, when we eat with purpose. I could never imagine sitting down to a meal that didn't have protein in it.
Yeah.
Unless it was the last week of the show and I needed a bunch of carbs to fill up. And that's a whole different reason. That's a 0.001% of the time that may in the equation. But when we eat, it's always like, okay, cool, protein first, then do we eat carbs, do we eat fat? It's as simple as that. Like, that's eating for us. Eating for purpose. Eating is, we also enjoy it. You and I have found ways to cook food to where we look forward to it.
Yeah, it's not boiled chicken and rice unseasoned.
Yeah.
I have a grill. I grill my food. Who doesn't like grilled meat? Like, that's like you know what I mean? That's freaking delicious.
Yes.
Hell, I mean, like, I can't think of like a better thing to have than meat and some kind of carb source. like people look forward to that. That's like that's like a meal that most people don't get.
Yes. Right.
If you go look at like in like the realms of poverty, they're having a carb source and maybe a fat source.
Right. Yes.
Like god damn, we're lucky to have some chicken in here.
Yes. Right.
No, and we have to have it multiple times a day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
I mean, I think like I know I would never want to eat fish all season, but I would if I thought that was the best way to do it. Like
yeah,
uh, I will always lean towards if I had to lay out protein in the hierarchy, I'm going to choose chicken first. I'll probably choose egg white second, then turkey. Steak would definitely be up there, but because I can't have that all the time, like I kind of like put that down on my list.
yeah.
I used to eat it twice a day, every day.
If it was up to me, I would eat steak 6 times a day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Until your jaw was like, hey, fuck you, no more.
Yeah, and I'd put it in the crock pot and make that. I would just do that when my jaw hurt.
Yes.
Switch back to regular grilled steak.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I got it. Shelby had me eating 8 ounces of flank twice a day.
Yeah.
And after like 2 months of that consistently, I remember my fucking teeth would just ache chewing through that shit. And I had to do what you did. I had to throw it in a crock pot.
No, but that's still delicious.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah, it is. Like that is the one time where I will actively choose onions and peppers because it tastes. I don't know why that combo. Like, I guess it maybe reminds me of eating steak and cheese subs at Subway when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So
yeah, very true.
yeah, it's just really interesting to me to like think when people look at bodybuilding and they want to be competitive and do well and level up, and it's like they have such that emotional connection. Well, Chris, it's my birthday, or oh, it's Christmas, or it's Thanksgiving, or well, for the most part, like we can have a meal or two, but we still have to eat all of our other meals. We still have to train the day before, the day of, or the day after, or all three. We still have to do our cardio. Like, by the way, like you were saying earlier, like it isn't electric chair eating. It's like you weren't Jesus at his last supper. Like you don't have to eat pounds of food and lay on your back and be miserable and gassy and feel like death. Like have a plate and move the fuck on. Like
Yeah. And also, it blows my mind what people will do that on the regular. Like they'll eat till they feel sick, and then the next day they're gonna have stomach digestive issues the entire fucking day, and have to deal with. And then that changes their training. It changes their hydration, and then they don't feel if they do that on Friday, they don't feel great until Sunday night, and then they go to bed and start again like Monday or whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
But like they keep repeating that vicious cycle. It's like, like why would you set yourself on fire every fucking week?
Agreed. Yep.
Like whatever you train on Saturday has got to be shit because your digestion's still fucked up. All your food's just flowing through you because it's not your body doesn't want any of it.
Yes.
You're gonna have heartburn, all that jazz. It's like, and you really think that training's gonna be effective when your body's like you're basically trying not to shit your pants on a hack squat?
Right.
Yeah. Like, I get it. Like, if you have something good, but make it actually work for you. Like, if I have a cheat meal, I know I'm gonna probably do it the day before a hard training session. I'll keep that in mind.
Yes.
Or if honestly, most of the times if I have a free meal, it's because I want to.
Yes. Yep.
And it's just gonna be off plan. And if I'm eating somewhere, it's probably still gonna have meat and carbs.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna be fucking perfect with it because most times I won't be able to.
Right.
But I'm more so doing it to be human.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, cool. So we're having my girlfriend wanted to go out to dinner. I don't have meal prep with, let's go.
Yep.
I can definitely go to, at that point if we go to a steakhouse, right? I'm gonna have steak and maybe I'll have, some option in there, sweet potatoes or whatever, and just not care about it. But like I'm also not eating so far out of the spectrum when it's gonna be, detrimental to my physique in the off season. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that pre-contest, obviously.
Yep.
But like, 10-ounce steak and a big ass sweet potato, even with whatever you put on it.
Yeah. Right.
Is a very different than, an entire buffet or whatever, especially because, like you said, being able to eat again after it.
Correct. Yes. Yep.
What we do in bodybuilding, everything we eat affects the next thing we do.
Yep.
And it's so if that thing fucks up the next 5 action items, like You didn't really just cheat once. You fucked up 5 action items.
Yeah, I mean, I think it always goes on to this. I believe in my heart that one of the reasons my arms grew this as well as they did my last all season was because I trained legs on Friday. I'd have Chick-fil-A, my final 6th meal, and I'd wake up, have 2 diet meals, train arms. All that excess calories that I got, and then from there, it always digests well. It doesn't matter what I get on that menu. I always get the same thing, but it's rich in chicken. It's got good carbs, good fat, meaning when I say good, I mean a lot.
Yeah.
And it digests well. It sits easy. I can eat again after if I need to. Now, I always chose it for meal 6 because that way I didn't have to worry about it. I ate that meal, lay on the couch till I fell asleep, and then went to bed. It's literally as simple as that. Like, I don't think when people are selecting their cheat meals, they are intelligent enough about placement. Like, as much as I would love, say, a giant IHOP breakfast, I
Mm-hmm.
know that if I go in there and let's say I had a steak omelet, bacon, hash browns, a stack of French toast, and some pancakes, which I would think is like a standard meal there for you or I if we ate it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be hungry for the next 4 hours
Yeah.
minimum, and then it's going to be like miserable getting the rest of those meals down.
Yeah.
Have 5 more. Like that's so daunting. Where if I take that same meal and put it at meal 6 and I go to sleep, I'll wake up, do some cardio, I'll be hungry as hell for meal 1. And then on top of that, like I'm gonna always choose a source of food that doesn't screw my digestion up, right? Like I'm not gonna as much as I may like love the taste of pizza, it's just
Yeah.
not a good cheat meal to me. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Same. Well, that's also a fun one too, because like if you eat something so shitty where your body doesn't like it,
right.
we've all done this.
Yeah.
You eat like pizza and ice cream, you go to bed, you can't sleep
Yes.
because your stomach's pissed at you.
Yeah.
And then you get to train your worst body part the next day, but you only slept for 3 hours.
Right. Yep. Yep. And then I know you don't drink, neither do I. But like then if people are like, oh, well, I had beer on top of it, or I had a couple cocktails, like you're just compounding that issue of making it worse. Like
Yeah.
so you took a shitty meal, like which is like pizza, wings, beer, right? To me, even though you threw the
Yeah.
wings in there, at least you got some protein. But at the end of the day, it's like, man, no wonder you wake up the next day, you feel like shit, or you sleep way in too late. And I'm always like, this is why you're losing a whole day of progress.
Mm.
And like Chris, but I want to live too. I'm like, okay. I bet you're gonna run into someone with the same or better genetics who isn't living that lifestyle. Who is saying no, not that ain't me. And there's lots of good. I listen because I know everyone always wants to use the exception as the rule, right? Like, oh well, Michael Lockett ate licorice and did this, and like you're comparing your genetics to his. Good luck.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I always think that it's funny when people say that, well, this guy eats like this and looks like that. Imagine if he didn't,
correct. Yes. Yeah.
you know? Like we all have that local guy at the gym who he's phenomenal. He trains his face off,
Yep.
has great genetics and looks good.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine if he had took his nutrition to a next level.
Correct.
We wouldn't be saying he looks good. We're gonna be saying he looks great.
Yep.
And then depending on what his goals are and how much he actually wants to put in that, like he could take it really far. He's just choosing not to.
Yep.
And
We
that's
have
why he
got,
gets away with eating like shit. Or
yes.
you got the opposite of someone, you get like someone who's retired from bodybuilding and they still want to look okay,
Yep.
but then they eat their 80% diet.
Mhm.
And it's like you do realize they're backtracking.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like they're not getting better eating like that. They're either choosing to stay the same or actively get worse.
Yes.
But they've already been there, so like they still look good.
Mhm.
Like it's really funny to me. Like a lot of people are going to take a ton of advice from someone who's looked the same for 10 years
Oh yeah.
because they built up to a physique where they look decent,
Mm-hmm.
but then they maintain that for the rest of their life, which is a good thing to do if you want to do that.
Right.
But why on earth are you trying to? If your goal is to build past them,
Mm-hmm.
why would you continue to take advice from that if you're going past where their physique standpoint?
Yep.
Like maintaining is so much different than building.
Yes. Yep.
Like if my goal was to stay 190 pounds and somewhat lean, I could probably get away with a lot
Yes.
at this point. If I stop from here down to that, Like I could probably eat 4 meals a day and 2 of them being shit
Yes. Oh yeah.
and just continue training the way I do. And it would just happen. Like I'd be leanish and I wouldn't be uncomfortable.
And you could even say,
But
like, oh, I'm gonna throw a bunch of dog walks in. Like Lee Priest does that, right?
yeah,
Walks everywhere. And like, oh, how do you eat like garbage? Well, he has pounds of muscle or had pounds of muscle, does a lot of cardio, he eats whatever he wants.
yeah,
Weird, right? Like, you touched on a good point there about we had two guys that used to come to Golds, and they were good, what I would consider tank top bodybuilders, like with a pump, because they had good chest, arms, and shoulders, and a good back.
yeah,
So it's like they're in there, you see them with a pump, and they strip down to a tank top or a wife beater, and it's like walking around the gym, they were probably two of the more impressive guys. And they did everything you said, right? Like they ate the right thing 50% of the time. They were big party guys, so they would always go out and have fun, chase girls, right? And I'll never forget, I had one of my clients come up to me, he's like, man, like, how do those two get away with it? And I'm like, you ever seen them without pants on? Oh, no. Like, yeah. That their worst body part isn't getting better because they're only in at about 60%.
mhm,
I was like, yes, they have very good upper bodies, and most dudes would kill to look like that. I mean, shit, I was like, at that time, I wasn't at that level
mhm.
from the upper body. Then on the flip side of that, like, not only would they do that, they would half-ass their way through legs, right? And say they trained them, but they really wouldn't. And I would always say that, like, you have to remember, like, they're in here in pants with pants on for a reason.
Yeah,
And just because they look good up top doesn't mean their whole body is complete. And maybe they're genetically predispositioned to have a good upper body, and they were going to have to. It's what you said, like you have to dig your heels in on the things you're not good at. So if you're carrying too much fat, or you're always predisposed to being fatter, you're going to have to be a little tighter with your diet. You're probably going to have to eat a little less carbohydrates and fat, like than you and I would, or do a little bit more cardio. On the flip side, like if we know our arms are never going to be always full round and juicy, like we're going to have to train them things until we're blue in the face. There ain't no such thing as push pulling legs for me and you.
yeah,
And that's
yeah, exactly. It's just it is what it is. It's you're always going to play the cards you dealt.
correct.
Wishing for better set of hand is just not something that is going to happen.
Which is
But
why I think you and I always have, like, we've realized this at a young age or a younger age in our bodybuilding. Like, all right, cool. We have to double down on things in our control. Eating every gram of food, following the plan, adjusting the plan when you hit a wall, like finding ways to train harder, not missing cardio, sleeping, resting, recovering, not doing stupid shit. Like, not thinking, oh man, like, how am I going to mask this training error with 2 grams of test? Because we could have done that. I mean, it's a lot easier to just double your test than it is to say, find those extra 5 reps on a hack squat.
yeah,
That's way easier. What, you got to push a syringe in for 10 more seconds?
yeah. Well, I mean that's why you get so many guys who they fall off bodybuilding, they lose 60 pounds of muscle, or they go in a health phase and they just wither away.
Yep.
There's a huge difference between using performance enhancing drugs to move your performance forward versus using them to cover holes.
Yes.
Like that one is a hilarious because they got dudes, they're like, oh, I can't get into shape without trend. It's like,
Yeah.
why?
Mhm.
I've said this to so many people. Like, if you can't do it without, why do with?
Yep.
Like it's one of those things. It's just like with like any of like if you want to go down the cell magnitude route, right? It's like if you're 300 pounds and you're like, this might help me. It's like, let's see you get down to 275 first before we throw a drug at it.
Yeah.
The effort comes before the miracles.
Yes. Yep.
Versus like if you do the same thing what you did there, but you add in a drug, do you think it's going to work? It's the backwards thinking what everybody has these days of this is a free ticket. It's comical seeing how many dudes are going to the gym who are riddled with acne, riddled with all sorts of things,
Yep.
and don't have the muscles to go with it, but they have the expensive, they're taking 600, 800 milligrams of tren a week, and they weigh 160 pounds.
Yep. I think you and I have gotten to a point now where the untrained eye would not know when we're in a health phase.
Yeah.
Like, we're always bigger and round. I don't understand. They lost no strength. but then you'll notice when we add it back in.
Yeah.
Like the people who've been in it and done this for a long time now know, but sadly that's where so many young guys, and or when I say young, I mean more like inexperienced, right? Because it could be guys in their late 30s who are just not into this as much as we were in our 20s. They think very much what you just said of, oh, I'm not on. It's an off period. So then their appetite goes down and they don't force the issue. And they're like, oh, well, I can't train as hard because I can't recover as great. They don't consider actually training less and going just as hard.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm going to keep 6 days a week, but I'm going to train at like 60% intensity. Why? Stupid.
Yeah.
And I know so many people are married to 5, 6, 7 days a week training. I think it makes them harder or better. No, it doesn't. Really take in, and if anyone takes anything away from this podcast we just talked about, watch the giant monsters that come to your gym, not the guys who look good on Instagram, because a lot of times those guys are like 175, 180 pounds. If you put them beside someone that actually has muscle, they look like a child. Ask them how many days a week they train.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Listen, 4 or 5 is a magic number. I don't know why. Can some get away with it more and less? Yes. But do not. I guess that's what always makes me angry, right? And this is kind of a side rant or rant. Everyone is so quick to say, oh, well, Chris, like, if I start banging on like people who don't look like they should be giving knowledge, and like, oh, well, Honey Rambod doesn't look like he trains or never trained. He's the exception, bro.
Yeah. He
Make a
also
rule
has
for
been
him.
doing this for a long time.
Yes, yes.
Well, I mean, like, take a gander at Chris Aceto. If you didn't know who he was, you'd be like, this man is an accountant.
Yes. Yeah.
He used to bodybuild.
Yep.
He had some health issues, pulled back, but still coached.
Correct. Yes.
And he learned a fuck ton from all that.
Yes. Yep.
And then he continues to apply it year round.
Yep. I mean,
it's not, you know, yeah, it's exactly that. It's not, the knowledge is there because of experience.
Yes. Yep.
You know, Chris Aceto is not 17. He's not 24.
No.
You know what? And if you saw him when he was 24, you'd be like, "What the fuck is this?" Go look up photos of Chris Aceto when he competed.
Right. Yep. One of my guys came to me. He used to train at Venice, and he would always see Tom Prince training people. He's like, I don't understand how this dude has all these clients. He's teeny. I said, go do a Google search for Tom Prince and type in NPC Nationals. He messaged me back and was like, never mind. Like, yeah. What you see now is not what he once was.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's always interesting because that dude, I used to watch his training videos all the time. Freaking crazy dude, like monster, strong. And, you know, it's really interesting to me is everyone wants to look and think, huh, like, who do I listen to? Where do I get information from now? Because it's so much and so vast. And it's like, this guy tells me to train 6 days a week. Milos tells me to train double sessions 6 days a week. The amount of people who could do that, and I love Milos. I love all this shit. He teaches so many good things. He's taught me a ton. But the amount of people who could train 6 days a week, twice a day, 12 sessions a week is like this. And you better be a pro and have like a sugar daddy or somebody paying your bills. It's the only way it's working. Only way.
Yeah. No joke. I mean, you could definitely do it. It's not going to be, but will you recover and grow from it? Is the aspect, you know, that's all the thing. Like, we live in a world where you can basically do whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
You know, is it going to be beneficial towards you? Is the question.
Yep.
You know, when I first started bodybuilding, I trained 15 times a week. And I remember taking a week off because I went on a vacation, right? And I didn't have access, like, you know, it was a family vacation. We drove somewhere, so we were in a car most of the time.
Right.
And I came back from that vacation 15 pounds heavier and leaner because I wasn't training. Because I was just beating the shit out of myself 15 times a week.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, listen, when I was running Doomsday and testing it for John, it was 7 days a week for 12 weeks.
Yeah.
It was intelligently set up. I was natural at the time. And I thought, I was like, oh man, my recovery is great. I'm dominating this stuff. I was loaded up on plasma. Like, I thought that was the shit. And then once I got older, I'm like, man, that was so dumb. I would have just been better just to train 4 or 5 days a week. Like, in hindsight, you can look back and say that, which is why, like, I always bang that into my younger guys' heads. Like, hey, like, let's train less and
Yeah.
go harder. And then you hear it's like the argument, right? Well, Chris, that's my mental health. That's how, listen, I've said this 1,000 times. It's no such thing as iron therapy, man. Like, if you need it, go get real therapy. Or, fun fact, what I did today, like, you, instead of training, go get a deep tissue massage. We were talking about this before, like before I hit record. Tell me that that's not pain.
Yeah.
Have your quads and hamstrings dug out, or your serratus and intercostals dug into.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to find ways. Like, let's say you always train at 12 o'clock. Schedule a massage, do a yoga, do an active recovery, take your dog for a walk, nap for fucking Christ's sake. Like, do a guided meditation. Like, all those things are all avenues that you simply just replace that training day with. So instead of doing 6 days, just knock it back down to 5 and get a massage. Okay. And if you don't have that much disposable income, like, get on a foam roller for 30 minutes and a lacrosse ball and a so right. Like, there's always ways.
Or walk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Outside
is typically free.
Yes. I always tell some of my clients, I'm like, go on YouTube, and if you have an area that's hurting you, type in lower back yoga 20 minutes. 100% free. Put that thing on your TV and do it. It's really simple. And you'll guess, like, oh man, I feel great. And I'm calm. My cortisol is low. Weird, right? And it helps you recover better. And next thing you know, I bet you do it for 3 months, you'll be bigger.
Yeah.
Magic. What's funny is we didn't even get into our topic that we had written down for the day.
Somehow skirted past that. That's funny. Yeah, you're not wrong.
No. It started out with my caffeine addiction, which is not really addiction. It's just my caffeine crutch. And then somehow we worked into this. So we'll have a topic for next week.
Yeah.
I think we've been on for over an hour at this point. So yeah, man, I think that to wrap all of this up of what we talked about is, like, I kind of think, don't rely on caffeine to get you through hard training. Be smart with your cheat meals. And then the people that you listen to, like, do some fucking research, man. Like, see who they studied under, see who they fell under their coaching tree, right? Because at the end of the day, everyone's scared to say this out loud, but I will be the one to do that. I fall under John's coaching tree. A lot of the principles he taught me, I use today. End of story. There are 15, 20 other coaches out there who fall under John's coaching tree, or Chris Aceto, or Chad Nichols, or Neil Hill. Like, I can go through a list of coaches, right? Matt Jensen, all of them. Where did they all start? Like, you can follow that all the way back. And then what we all do is we mold our own thought process into what they taught us. Or if we've worked with multiple coaches, or things that we've learned and found in the gym through clients. Like, so search and see, like, ask the people you're considering working with, like, hey, like, where did you get your knowledge from? Who did you learn? It was all self-taught. Like, if so, how many years have you been doing this? Like, look at their physique. Look what it used to look like. Look at their client before and afters. If that's some shit you want to look like, or you want to be like, if you go on my page and you fucking scroll, right? Like, you won't find one girl who does fitness. I've never worked with one. I'm probably not the best person for that.
Yeah.
I'll be the first one to admit that. Like, on the flip side, if you're someone who needs a lot of cheerleading, probably not going to be the right person for you.
Yeah. Well, I think the big thing you touched on there is try different things, including your fucking cheat meals.
Yes.
Right. And if it works for you, great. Write it down. Use that information for next time. If it doesn't work, write it down. Use that information for next time. You're not going to get anywhere if you don't try different things.
Yes.
Same thing with workouts.
Yeah. And you have to remove your emotional bias.
Yeah.
You may love pizza, but your stomach may not.
Yeah. Exactly. I rarely ever eat pizza because it always fucks me up. And I know that. I'm like, okay, cool. We're not doing that. I might get breadsticks. Breadsticks and sauce does nothing to me.
Right. Yes.
The cheese aspect is what fucks me. You know?
Right.
But I know that I can eat that, write it down, and use that to my advantage.
Correct.
So many people are sitting here spinning their wheels because they'll do the same thing. They don't take notes on how they do it, and they do it again.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And they're expecting a different outcome. You guys are fucking insane.
Yep.
You know,
I even had a guy who was like this. He's like, man, I noticed like all the top pros eat sushi for their cheat meal. So that's what I've been doing, but I hate it. I'm like, then that's a poor choice for you.
yeah.
It's just, why would you do that? A free meal to me is what you said earlier, is like, you should be able to enjoy it and not have to think about it, and just go to a restaurant or make it at home or fill in the blank and just not measure anything, enjoy a meal, move on.
Yeah.
If you hate sushi, that's actually giving you, in my mind, a negative response.
Yeah.
Which is the reason why I always ask every client, like, is there foods that you hate? And if you hated chicken breast, I'm not going to put it on your plan. There are plenty of other protein sources that we can eat. Because I've always felt like if you're going to force down a food that you like literally gag on, or you don't look forward to, or you have some sort of like negative thought process towards, it's doing more harm than good.
I mean, sometimes that might be managing your thought process.
True. Yes.
If you're someone who says, "Oh, I hate cardio," yeah, that's take a fucking different sport. Like, you're not going to climb in T3 your way out of cardio.
Right. Yeah.
You can try. Your physique's gonna be shit. Right. Take notes, write it down, and apply it next time. Yep. You know, like, cool. Maybe next time we do cardio instead of just trying to blast drugs. See what happens.
That's actually a great topic, right? Is like, because I've had guys say that to me. I'm like, have you tried every form of cardio? They're like, what do you mean? Literally, have you tried swimming, biking, taking a hike, doing a ruck walk with a weighted vest on? Like,
yeah.
Have you done the Stairmaster, elliptical, arc trainer? Have you went into a cardio cinema? Have you swam? Like, have you done a rower? Like, have you jump roped? Like, pushed a prowler? Like, I feel like, I mean, for fuck's sake, man, I'm sure I could probably get somebody in shape hitting a heavy bag. I've never,
for sure.
But I'm sure I could. Like,
yeah.
As long as we track it and you give me maximum intensity, like we could do hit cardio with a punching bag. I bet that would eat the hell out of fat. Like,
yeah.
I just feel like there has to be something that you at least tolerate. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, like, okay, sorry, pick something else.
yeah.
I got a guy in really good shape once playing pickup basketball 4 days a week.
Yeah.
He wasn't a competitor, but he was sub 8% body fat. And he hated cardio, but he loved basketball. Like, just go. He went to a YMCA and played pickup basketball 4 days a week, running full court. So, I mean, there's got to be something. I mean, shit, you could probably go do like sparring, grappling, karate. I don't know, I'm just throwing shit out there at this point. Like, it may not be optimal for bodybuilding, but you can get fit doing it. You can get to like maybe 8 to 6 weeks out and be like, okay, it's time to transition to the treadmill.
yeah. Yeah. And like we just said, take notes and see what happens. But the biggest thing is, like, you either need to have someone take notes for you, you need to do it yourself. Correct. You need to step outside of your own brain, get out of your own way, and logically think on, is this getting me closer or further away from my goals? Yeah. And that's what bodybuilding is really about, because we all have very different lives.
Yes. Agreed.
You know, and if you can find your way to get to that same goal, there's a million ways up to the top of the mountain. And legitimately, the only dumb thing to do is running around telling people their way's wrong.
Yes. Yes.
You know, you can be that guy. You're not going to get to the top of the mountain doing that. Like, you could, that one side of that mountain might just be ice. Someone just, hacking their way up there.
Yep.
They're still going to get up there. They might have a fun time doing it. It might be really fucking hard. If there's a nice paved trail on the other side. But, they're still getting up there.
Right. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think you and I could literally like be stuck to like an apartment building stairs of just walking up and down, setting your watch timer, putting a podcast in our ears, and just going. Is that maybe ideal? No, but I bet all the fat will be gone. Because we go to constant heart rate, it would make it challenging, and we're tracking duration. I don't know. At the end of the day, it's not that challenging. Like,
no.
And then, as you always say, like, we got to do bodybuilding shit when it's time to do bodybuilding shit.
Yep. So
that's what we'll leave you guys with. Another episode. I think that might be episode 29.
Yeah.
Let me look. Let me not be stupid, because I want to just be spot on with this. Let's see. No, that's 28.
28?
28 episodes. That's 20. We have not missed a week, so that's 28 weeks in a row. So I feel good about that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
If you and I are one thing, it's fucking consistent.
Yeah, it's very true.
All right, guys. Until next time, Chris, Little Dave, we're done.